if we're centered, but I think it's okay. I know everybody's probably tired of my voice by now, but happy to have a good friend here on stage with you all. We're going to talk about a few different things today. I know this panel is mainly about Web3 social, but I'd really like to start, zooming out a little bit. Stani has built a number of protocols and products in Web3, one of them being Aave. And I'd like to start first with a little bit about sort of where we are with DeFi in general, and then in particular, sort of like the new stablecoin that Aave has launched, Go, how that plays into Aave's plans and how like people can leverage it.
Yeah, and thank you for Luigi inviting me here. I'm always surprised how big of a local community you always manage to build. And it's wonderful to be in Istanbul, especially because the food is good, the traffic not so, but I can...
Yeah, traffic's tough.
I can manage the traffic because the food is good. And also, and I know you choose the cities based on also, the food as well, so...
Food first.
Yeah, I've been interacting with the Avalanche community a few times, and I've been always talking about the kind of things that we're doing at our company. We built the Aave protocol. Obviously, that's been exciting success amongst our early adopters who believe in permissionless, decentralized finance, that anyone can have access to the same equal financial opportunity. And also at our company, we want to build the people-powered internet. And what that means is that we want to ensure that the technology we build and the future businesses can operate on decentralized protocols and platforms where the people have the say and ability to participate socially and economically. And I think if everyone has more skin in the game and the internet is more equal to us all, we care about the internet and the new web a bit more, and it's a better place. And that's why we started a couple of years ago to build a social networking protocol, because we spend a lot of time online, we make a lot of connections, and in some ways, that's also a form of capital. So it's not financial capital, it's not numbers in your bank accounts or wallets or your Binance account, but it's value that you create and curate constantly. And Lens protocol is effectively a set of smart contracts that are social networking primitives. So basically profiles, follower graph, things that you expect exist in social media, but we're using the blockchain and data availability and decentralized storage to provide guarantees for the users. So the same way as, for example, Bitcoin provides the guarantee for you that you own the asset if you own the private key, Lens protocol provides that ownership for your profile and audiences that you create over online. And also the content you create and guarantees monetization, and that you can split the monetizations amongst everyone who participates from different applications, curators, and most importantly, the end users. So in some ways, I'm kind of happy that things are progressing. So it's not only about finance, but we're finding new use cases that we're pushing towards more adoption as well.
So we're really DeFi guys, both of us, through and through from the beginning, right? But I also built the SocialFi app, 2017, didn't work. And you've been building social for longer, for about over a year now, I think.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Couple of years, yeah. So to the Avalanche community, SocialFi is a new thing. We had a very dramatic and very loud and very aggressive sort of few weeks with something called Stars Arena, and it's like a new phenomenon, and FriendTech and all these things. I'd be curious to get your thoughts on like that new phenomena for somebody who's been building social for 2 years now, a few years now, and how you think that can either help or has hurt us.
Yeah, I mean, from Lens point of view, obviously we build Lens protocol as a tool for developers to build social experiences and enable monetization. So I do appreciate that these socialify applications also bring the idea of monetization to the users, and also have the aspect of how you can share that monetizations amongst your community members. So Lens kind of comes from that perspective of like giving the guarantees of ownership of the profile and your social graph or different kinds of primitives, but at the same time, the monetization is a big part of what we're doing. So in some ways, the blockchain is a value graph. So we actually see how we transact and do transactions in a transparent way with integrity. And I think that's the power of the blockchain, because everything is transparent. So you don't need to trust centralized systems or people. And when you have this public graph, it actually kind of justifies also for a lot of builders to build these applications and start monetizing. It's actually a very interesting discussion in overall, because if you think about it, Uniswap Labs added recently fees to monetize their application, and obviously the Uniswap as a protocol, the AMM DEX, they don't collect fees actually. But in the Aave protocol's case, the Aave protocol collects fees, and there's no fees on the app level. So monetization itself for DeFi developers and Web3 builders is a very kind of sensitive topic, whether these protocols should actually, and builders should monetize, or should everything be commoditized. And I think this is a very interesting time to build both DeFi applications and social, and overall the application layer, because a lot of this infrastructure exists already. So when we started to build the Aave protocol, there was maybe I don't know, maybe like a couple of hundred DeFi users, plus Luigi, of course. But it's
I was like half of them, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really small. And now a lot of things has been built, from DEXs, very easy way to swap assets, supply liquidity to earn, using Aave protocol, for example, but also building social media applications and having ownership. And these are just the first use cases that go beyond finance as well. So what I'm very excited now is that to see kind of like where we go from here onwards. And with social, I think we're still very in a hello world moment. And what that means is that a lot of these social applications, they're really, they reflect the social media applications we use on a day-to-day basis today over the internet. And I think the next kind of step will be that we will see applications that actually have incredible, unique experience that is powered by the blockchain. And I do think that the monetization and value share will be a big part of it. And hopefully also Lens will be able to help and save those developer minutes to build faster these experiences. And also, I think that the experiences that people will build, they don't need to be necessarily like a killer app, but it can be, for example, something that is very exciting, but maybe the application itself will last for 6 months to 1 year, and the team probably goes and builds something else based on the learnings, what they learned from the previous application that they built.
Yeah, to that point, like I've been, in my prediction, they're not always right, but I've been saying lately that I sort of believe that social is sort of at the place where DeFi was in 2019. I think it's fundamentally one of the most important things that this technology can bring to people. I know it sounds like one of those things that you can't touch, you can't feel, you don't know, but I do feel like there is actually something fundamentally important to the social graph that the existing systems can't provide. So, with that context, like I think people don't understand like the uniformity of data and no rate limiting and all these things that you can do with an open social graph. Like, how do you guys think about and how can people leverage that they in ways that they can leverage something like, Twitter, Facebook, or other social applications out there in the centralized space?
One very valuable thing that we learned while building, so until this point, we built the protocol very much in kind of like a experimentation. So we didn't really know what people want, and we still kind of don't know because it's very early. But now we're starting to kind of understand like what kind of things could empower developers quite a lot, and also the end users. And something we noticed is that looking at, for example, Avalanche, it's a big network, right? So it's a network of obviously transactions, but also it's a network of people. So we're all here because we know what Avalanche is, for example, and how it works. And if you don't, I think by end of the day you will. So it has this human component there as well, and it's a network. And I think what we learned is that these developers that are building experiences on Lens, they're benefiting from a shared social network. So it's a very new concept for a social media builder that actually you can access to this actually public user base, public data from the blockchain or from a BigQuery where you can make complex computational algorithms and train them and make very interesting findings. So in some ways, Lens and the shared social graph is kind of like a public good that anyone can actually bootstrap their product and audience. And that's probably also the reason why people choose to build on Avalanche and create a community there, because at the same time, it's a network. So we wanted to create these primitives that you can actually build on a shared infrastructure and bootstrap your product. And down the line, what we also learned that there are also developers that want to create their own graph, a blockchain-based graph. So that's the direction we're thinking as well, where you have this interesting public graph, and at the same time you can create your own graph, use your own primitives and profiles and whatnot. Similar kind of the model of like the subnet. So you have the main kind of C chain, and then you can create the subnets and have more control and customization and build a community there. So that's the kind of like a power we're seeing from a building on a shared social network that doesn't really exist in Web2 at this point.
So I get this question a lot. I'm sure you get it as well from a lot of developers. Like, Luigi, what should I build? I'm a good developer. I don't know what to build right now. So one of the things that I've been telling a lot of people lately is like, the canvas is blank in social. Like, this is an opportunity for you. I'll just say it here. We'll be actually doing a hackathon in a few weeks just on social. We'll be announcing that, so that'll be pretty cool. Everybody can get engaged, but. For somebody who wants to build on Lens and wants to build something in social, what are some of the things that you would say, would be interesting for them to build? What would you direct them to build?
I think one way to think about this is that you will go like few steps forward or like take completely like a very extreme idea and try to implement that. So something I've been thinking about is that, what are the interesting things that we have when you build on an on-chain protocol? One of the things are like you have this transparent and public way of creating transactions and moving funds, basically the monetization. So I would, for example, love to see people trying and building like public email clients where you can message other people, but these messages are completely public, and just see how people react and will use it, and whether there's any kind of product market fit. So I do think that the ideas that we have to build from now onwards, they have to be very different because you're trying to create a new experience that necessarily didn't exist and appeal to audience that are already in the space or willing to come as well. Or you can create better experience and target also people that are outside of the space. And I do believe that a lot of this blockchain stuff can be abstracted really well away. So when people are building on Web3 social and they don't need to actually as an end user know that they're using a subnet and they're using Lens protocol and they're using something else there. That all can actually be taken away from the site and just building experience and design in between and making it more understandable for users. But there's tons of ideas that could be very, very cool. Maybe I will come and help in this hackathon of yours.
Yeah, that would be nice. I know we're coming up on time, and you and I have to talk about Lens going on Avalanche after this. So one of the things that I'd be remiss not to talk about, we are in Turkey. Obviously, there is, and I know this is outside of the topic, but obviously there is a hyperinflation, a lot of inflation issues in Turkey. You guys have also in Aave deployed something called Go, GHO, which is a stable coin. I'd love to hear just a little bit and have everybody understand a little bit about what the plans are for something like Go, how people can get access to it, how they can use it, and sort of like what the opportunity is there for them.
Yeah, Go is basically our vision of trying to bring a bit more decentralized finance into day-to-day usage, and it comes together with the idea I have that if we want this space to grow, we have to build more I would say kind of like on-chain gross domestic product. So the more the way we measure economy is how much we sell goods and services, right? And the more we can do that on chain or sell digital goods on chain as well, the more we can grow the economy. So the idea is that with Go, longer vision is to get it into networks where the transaction cost is very low and get it into interesting usage. Just an example, our team sold over 300 Go passports, and a Go passport gets you a Aave ticket. We basically do also decentralized raves, so that's Aave, paid by the Aave DAO, which is great, and you get an exclusive Aave swag and the NFT itself.
And when is the Aave?
On Thursday. It's hard to get a ticket, but if you message the Aave accounts on social, that might help, especially on Lens. And I actually have a gift for you. There is this NFT collection called Finalize, and they created this Istanbul version of their NFT with Lens. And actually, the more active you're on Lens, this NFT will become more happier. And the less active you will be, it becomes sad. So it's just an interesting way of using interactive NFTs to represent your activity on a social network in a very nice way. I think it's way better than the online, offline, red, green dot thing.
It's like reminds me of Tamagotchis or Furbies.
Exactly. And if you want one, I have a few of these. So approach me at some point here. Ian, I will give you one as well.
Awesome. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I know there's another conversation after this. No? We have a Aave code.
What's the Aave code? Oh, Ronnie loves AVAX is the code to get a Aave ticket. So
write it down. Ronnie, RONNIE. Yeah, you got to get it fast.
You have to get it fast because they go very fast. Ronnie loves AVAX.
2 N's. Awesome. Yeah, I've been to my share of Aaves. I would highly recommend. They know how to throw a party. So highly recommend everybody going to that. And there's a code for you. That's a nice little treat. Thank you, Paris. So really appreciate the talk. And thank you, everybody, for joining. I know we have one more talk, I believe, today. And thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.